We live in a world that doesn't just neglect childhood, it hates it. Think about the cycle most families are caught in. We send our kids off to daycare or schools to be raised by strangers. We feed them processed, sugary food that leaves them sick and sluggish. When their bodies and minds rebel, we then hand them prescriptions to cover up the symptoms. And when those drugs create new problems, we add even more pills to the mix. Pretty soon, they don't just have problems, they have a diagnosis, a label, an identity. That's not parenting, that's outsourcing. And it's not always the parent's fault. This is the system that we have been sold. A system that prizes convenience over connection, efficiency over innocence. And what do our schools teach them? Not the good, the true, and the beautiful. Instead, the ideology of the day. Whatever political winds are blowing through the classroom, we hand our children over to the government-run institutions from the time they're 4 years old until their mid-20s. And then we're surprised when they come back carrying the values of Rome. As the late Reverend Vodi Bakum once said, we cannot continue to send our children to Caesar for their education and be surprised when they come home as Romans. This isn't just about education, it's indoctrination. And then there's the screens. We get home from work exhausted. We pick the kids up from school drained. So what do? We plop them in front of a TV so we can have a moment of peace. Now, I'm not here to condemn anyone. This is how the system is designed. But let me tell you, what I've seen in my own home, my 2-year-old boy is the wiggliest little guy you've ever met. Nothing on earth can make him sit still, but you put a TV in front of him and suddenly he's a statue, silent, frozen, captivated. That terrified me, so we removed the television from our home. Now, I want to be really clear. I'm not against technology. I make my living building tech. I love the tools we've been given. The problem isn't the tool, it's the control. Does the TV control you, or do you control it? Do you casually log into Instagram, or do you get sucked into an endless scroll? Technology can be a blessing, but children don't have the discipline yet to resist its grips. That's our job as parents, to guard their hearts until they can stand on their own. And here's what too many have forgotten. The first 7 years of a child's life are the most formative. That's when their habits are shaped, their innocence preserved, their identity formed. And those years will either be spent learning from you or from someone else. But once they're gone, you can't get them back. In fact, long before our modern debates about education and culture, the Puritans understood this very well. William Goode put it like this: the family is a seminary of the church and commonwealth. It is as a beehive in which is the stock and out of which are sent many swarms of bees. In other words, the family is a training ground for everything: faith, culture, and community. So why in the world does my 5-year-old need to sit in a classroom for 8 hours a day? Children aren't meant to be caged. They're meant to run, to play, to explore, to learn at their parents' side. And this is why we homestead. It's not just about raising chickens or planting tomatoes. It's about reclaiming our children's childhood. It's about choosing presence over convenience. It's about saying, this little soul has only one childhood, and it's my God-given duty to protect it. So here's my call to you. Be intentional. Guard your children's innocence. Refuse to let the system steal the years you'll never get back, because one day you'll look up and the question will be staring you in the face. Who raised your children? You or the world?